what I've been saying, and I think others have said the same thing, is that there are some crimes and some offenders for whom increased sentences probably were appropriate, but the problem is the way it was approached can create the impression that it is, first of all, the solution, that is, increased penalties are the solution to crime, and second, that they're the solution without regard to the nature of the crime or the nature of the offender. And I think what judges have been saying on and off for much of this time all around Australia is that increasing sentences has a part to play, but it only has a part to play, and it's creating a false impression to suggest or manage it in a way that suggests that if only the judges would increase the penalties, the problem of crime would somehow or other significantly diminish or go away. And what we've been saying is increased penalties, depending on the nature of the offender and the nature of the crime, have a part to play, but you've got to use a lot of other strategies too.
I guess that's a reasonable segue into what Horror is banging on about in regards to imprisonment being the most expensive and the most futile outcome of the process.
Well, it is expensive. My hunch is, I don't know if anyone's ever really been able to cost it, that alternative strategies they would be less expensive, but just by how much is not so evident, because you've got to employ people to work with the offenders. Sometimes you might want to house them in places that weren't prisons, which would so cost less to run, but still be quite expensive to run. And it's not always futile. There are some offenders who you have to lock up just to protect society, so it's not always futile, but it is certainly the case that it is not the solution. It's a solution for certain types of offenders and certain types of offences.